it is IGN's top 25 best television shows of all time. Now, I want to remind you guys really quick to head on over to my Twitter feed and retweet and like and comment on my tweet asking you what you think, in your opinion, is the best, bar none, TV show of all time. I want to see if you came even close. Now, don't cheat. Don't go and watch this and then put what the number one is. You know, I want to hear what you think the number one TV show of all time is, and see if you measure up to what IGN put their top 25. Now, I am going to remind you guys, they actually did a comprehensive list of the top 100, but we don't have enough time in this episode to do all 100, so we're just going to stick to the top 25. With that being said, I felt like there was a couple in this top 25 list that I thought were a little shady. I did hear about most of these. I haven't seen most of the portion of them, but I did have some questions. Like, for example, or actually I'll hold my examples until after I tell you guys the list, and then I can see if you guys are thinking the same thing as I am. Like, where the heck are these shows on the top 25? Like, certainly some of these deserve to be in the top 25 for the best TV shows of all time. But here we go. IGN presents to you the top 25 best TV shows of all time. Here we go. Starting with number 25 is Succession. Coming in at number 24 is Freaks and Geeks. Coming in at number 23 is the United States version of The Office. Coming in at number 22 is Arrested Development. 21 is Avatar: The Last Airbender. Number 20 is Batman the Animated Series. Coming in at number 19 is I Love Lucy. My grandma loves this show. Coming in at number 18 is Star Trek, the original series. Coming in at number 17, Sometimes You Wanna Go Where... Cheers. Coming in at number 16, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Coming in at number 15 in the top 25 best shows of all time by IGN is Seinfeld. I was actually surprised, but not surprised at that one. I think I was surprised by its number, not necessarily that it was on the list. Coming in at number 14 is Watchmen. Coming in at number 13, Star Trek: The Next Generation. Coming in at number 12, honestly, I have never heard of this show. It's Fleabag. Have you guys heard of that show? I have not. Maybe I live under a rock. I don't know. Coming in at number 11 was Lost. Love that show. Coming in at number 10 is Parks and Recreation. Now, rounding out the top 10 of the top 25 list of best TV shows of all time by IGN is number 9, Game of Thrones. Honestly, guys, I was very surprised that this wasn't better on the list, because for years, all I would hear people talk about was Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones. And because I had never seen it, I never jumped in on the hype. I was always busy, you know, with wrestling and stuff. So I didn't actually start watching Game of Thrones until like a year ago. I'm way behind the curve, but I've always been like the opposite version of a hipster. So whenever something is like super trendy and popular, I avoid it until after the buzz dies down. And that was the same thing for Game of Thrones. Coming in at number 8, which I thought was really cool to have it on here, is The Twilight Zone. Coming in at number 7, Mad Men. A lot of people say I look like Christina Hendricks. Coming in at number 6, The Sopranos. Now, on my Twitter feed, so many of you chose this as the number 1 best TV series of all time. I want to know, are you guys disappointed that this is only number 6 in the top 25? Let me know. Coming in at number 5 is Twin Peaks. Coming in at number 4 in the top 25, as we round out the last 5, is The X-Files. I do love that show though. Coming in at number 3, which was the second most popular answer on my Twitter feed. So yeah, are you guys surprised this wasn't the number 1? Coming in at number 3 is Breaking Bad. Coming in at number 2, rounding out the top 25 best TV shows of all time, courtesy of IGN, is The Simpsons. And coming in at number 1 in the top spot in IGN's top 25 best TV shows of all time, The Wire. Alright everyone, this was the top 25 list courtesy of IGN on Instagram, as they rated their favorite top 100 best TV shows of all time. We just went through the top 25. We've got Succession, Freaks and Geeks, The Office, Arrested Development, Avatar: The Last Airbender, Batman the Animated Series, I Love Lucy, Star Trek the Original Series, Cheers, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Seinfeld, Watchmen, Star Trek The Next Generation, Fleabag, Lost, Parks and Recreation, Game of Thrones, The Twilight Zone, Mad Men, The Sopranos, Twin Peaks, The X-Files, Breaking Bad, The Simpsons, and The Wire. Now here's my question, okay? I'm wondering, where's Supernatural on this list? Like, am I right? Like, how many people think that the Supernatural should have been probably in the top 25? Like, I would settle for coming in at number 25, honestly. I feel like it deserves it. Where the heck is The Big Bang Theory on this list, guys? Like, for real, even if you didn't watch it, like, did you guys realize that The Big Bang Theory at one point consistently for more than one season straight was actually outperforming, if you took Monday Night Raw's audience and combined it with AEW Dynamite's audience, Big Bang Theory weekly was drawing more than that combined total. So where are they in the top 25 list? I mean, that was literally the #1 show. I think it was competing with the NFL ratings, to be honest with you. And while we're speaking of that and awesome, amazing, timeless shows, where the heck is Golden Girls on this top 25 list? Like, please tell me somebody else besides me was like, why all the shade at Golden Girls? Like, I mean, that show is timeless. And what about Family Guy? I mean, you put Avatar: The Last Airbender on this list, but you didn't put Family Guy. And speaking of shade, where on earth is Scooby-Doo on this list? I mean, Scooby-Doo transcends every fad, trend, and generation. Like, this came out in, what, the 60s? And kids today in 2023 still love Scooby-Doo in all of its forms. Like, where is Scooby-Doo in the top 25? Like, that probably should have been there, in my opinion, instead of Avatar: The Last Airbender. But hey, what do I know? What do I know, okay? No shade here. And last but not least, where's Grey's Anatomy? I mean, I haven't been a fan of the last couple seasons because it just seems like it's just agenda on top of agenda on top of agenda. But, I mean, like, seasons 1 through, like, 15 were pretty darn awesome. So where is Grey's Anatomy on this? And by the way, where's Law & Order SVU on this list? Okay, I know that this is a top 100 list, guys. I know, I did not forget that. But we're talking about some of the best shows that have been around for like 20 plus years, and they're not in the top 25. What are we doing? Anyway, we are going to take our second break of the episode. When we come back, we've got some lawsuits that are pretty shocking and some more. So stay tuned. Don't go